Hey, it's me again. Today I just want to do something that's a little bit different from the previous type of videos that I used to do, because I've been on a friend's fragrances lately in the past 6 months, and I bought quite some new perfumes. So I would like to kind of share that with you guys. If you like this type of video, thumbs up, like, or anything, let me know, and I'll do more of these. So let's get started. The first one, the first ones are the Tom Ford Private Blend collection, and in which I got three, but one of them is still on the way. So right now I have Tom Tobacco Wood and the Neroli Portfolio. Um, they're just, the bottle design is just so beautiful. I love how they look like and how the shape of the bottle is, because it's square shaped, so which make them very unique. Wood has been a really big popular ingredient for perfume makers in the recent years. And I have to admit, I love the smell of wood. It just gives me that incensey and just inner peace like feeling. Every time I smell it, I feel calm. And then this one in particular, because it's a combo of tobacco and wood, so it makes it even more unique. It has this intoxicating smell to it, and it's very unisex, so man and woman can both rock it. I tend to wear this one more the evening time, because I don't like to wear something that's too potent to work in the daytime. But this one is just, it smells like palm at first, but it's slowly turning to that very quiet wood in the background that stays on your skin perfectly for a long time, and it melts well with my skin chemistry. And so I love this one. It's definitely a go-to of my night perfumes right now. Neroli Portofino. I love how the name pronounces. It just feels very exotic, and then this one immediately makes me think of a Mediterranean ocean, the ocean waves and the pine forest near the ocean on the mountain. I tend to wear this one particularly when I go to the gym or when I go out for a jog. I feel the smell goes well with your sweat, if that makes sense. But when the weather gets hot and humid, I feel this one's gonna make you feel really cool down. And it's just a very good perfume for spring, especially for summer. I can totally imagine this one on sexy beach, and when you're doing like surfing and just all kinds of water sports under the hot weather, under the sun, or doing the tanning, doing a outside yoga or things like that. This one is perfect. And my next one is the Chanel number 5. It's called the Lou. Um, I've always been a great lover of the Chanel number 5, the EDP, the original. My mom gifted to me a couple years ago, and it's been sitting in my drawer ever since, because I feel, although I'm like getting older year by year, but I still feel that the original number 5 is something that I still need to um, how to say that. Number 5 is just something that I still need to grow up a little bit more to be a bit more sophisticated mentally and physically, if you know what I mean, to be really able to pull it out. So instead, when I saw this come out, the Lou, which means a watered down version of the original number 5, I immediately got it because it smells really similar to the original, but it has this it's less powdery, if that's the word, but it just smells younger, but it also smells smart and intelligent and independent at the same time, without losing the very core of the Chanel number 5, the core feeling that the perfume gives creates to the woman. So really love this one. And the bottle is elegant. It's white. It's completely see-through. So it's like a bottle of white wine, and you can carry it in your purse easily. Although it is a 50 ml, but it's still very portable and handy. So I love that about that too. And next, next are my three Maison Margiela. I just love these. I really love these three. They're all different. First of all, the Untitled. I believe this came out a few, maybe more than 10 years ago. I love the bottle design. The cap looks like an ice cube, and it's really tight. And I saw their ads a couple weeks ago, and then they just, in the ad, they just the bottle into this like milky, thick liquid, and then they pulled it out, and then this part shapes. I know it's just like ad creation, but I just love how they done it. Just make great sense to me. And then the liquid inside is actually green, and it's precisely going well with what it smells like. It smells to me very green. It's very grassy. It's very grassy with a tiny bit of spice in it. So it's not a completely innocent girl wearing who would rock this perfume. I think yeah, it's definitely a lady who's, I don't know, who's more on the minimalistic, simplistic side in terms of personality and all that, but she's at the same time very intelligent, because it does have that personality, that spice, that twist to it that's not make this woman completely like seeing through like in a linear way. So we have to kind of wait till it develops, wait till you warm up with her a little bit more to be able to really understand who she is. And this one is pretty good for summer and spring too. I can totally imagine this one being worn by a woman who rides a horse in the wild grassland. It's just that picture in my head every time I smell it. So love that. And then these two guys, the replica line, I'm sure you guys all heard of it before. It's not sold in China. Pity, we don't have this. So I got it from abroad. But I mean, just look at the packaging. I just love how they look like. Not only the liquid, I mean this one, I'm sorry, I forgot to mention the name. This one is called Lipstick On, and this one's called the Jazz Club. And they're both trying to mimic, trying to be reminiscent of a time from the past. So the Lipstick On is actually a memory of the time in Chicago in 1952. Now, I used to live in Chicago City for a couple of years. Maybe because I don't have that cultural background of that time into the history in 1952. But every time I smell it, the Lipstick On, I can totally think of, this golden times after the World War II. The economy was recovering from itself, and then people were happily dressing fancily, men with a hat and suit and tie, ladies with a nice pair of high heels and then well-made dresses, and it's just this golden time in a metropolitan city, in the corner bar, or in a fine dining restaurant. I don't know, it just reminds me of that time with some, I don't know, hard pop, jazz, or a big band even playing in the background. And the liquid itself looks like wine. Very unique. Jazz Club. Now, I'm a huge jazz fan, so as soon as I heard there's a perfume out there called the Jazz Club, I just had to get it. And it didn't disappoint me, because it was kind of a blind buy. I didn't get the chance to smell it in the counter because there's no counter whatsoever in here. So I just got it online. But luckily, this is something that I really like. It says on the label that it's trying to mimic scent in 2013, Brooklyn, New York. and it's made of heady cocktails and cigars. I definitely smell the cigar, the smoky cigar in it. It's very it's very manly in a gentleman's way, but don't get me wrong, it's not like a perfume just for men, because if a woman wears it, I feel it creates definitely a very different chemistry with a woman's appearance, the look, and the vibe, the female vibe. But overall, it's again very unisex. Um, if a younger lady wears it, it can appear to be it's very sexy. It's sexy in the bold way, and again, it's kind of distant, but not like completely unapproachable. You can still approach her, but it takes time to warm up, to give, because her personality is not that easily to be pleased. Let's say that. Um, and if an older woman, like a more mature woman, wears it, it just screams sophistication to me. So I think it's both unisex and it can be worn across different age groups. So I really love that about that too. And look at a liquid. That lipstick looks like wine, and this one looks like Scotch whiskey to me. And I'll just put them side by side. Let's just take one moment to appreciate a bottle again. Look how the bottleneck is made out of this nylon material. It really adds to the character, to the overall packaging, and to the overall product. And then this part, the label part, is made out of nylon too, I believe. It feels a little rough, but it's made of very fine nylon. It's, this creamy white, and then it has this typewriter type of font. You know, I mean, the words are in this typewriter font, which I really love. Overall, these little details just add so much texture to the overall bottle design, and these are really important details for me. I think they make a huge difference. Um, Including this one, the bottleneck has the same design, so they each have like across different lines. They have different designs. Like this bottle is completely different from this one, but they still keep something here as this consistent like cue of design. So I think they're really smart in terms of their packaging design. And then I'm a total packaging junkie, so like totally buy into that. Okay, moving on. This one, don't quote me on my French pronunciation because I'm not French speaking whatsoever. But this one I believe is called Etat libre de l'Orange. It's a relatively more niche perfume brand from Paris, I believe. And they have a very bold, very liberal concept behind across all of their products. And then if you check on their website, they have very detailed, very abstract description. It's almost like a personal manifesto behind each perfume, which I love because I feel the perfumers are really creating perfumes for themselves. I mean, not for the market, not for commercial uses anymore. I believe they used to belong to some commercial, like bigger designer perfumer brand, but then they thought it was meaningless, so they quit their jobs and then started their own business, and now they're able to create whatever the shit they want. And they do have some really crazy shit. I believe Katie Patrick here on YouTube has reviewed one of those perfumes called gosh, I forgot the name. It's called something Magnifique, but I smelled that too in the counter actually. It was mind-blowingly disgusting. It smelled like dead body, blood, and metal, and semen, everything combined. So, I mean, I suggest you guys try that if you haven't already, if you have a counter nearby. But that's a side story. Coming back to this one is called Charogne. Again, I don't know how to pronounce that, so please let me know if you happen to be French. This one in English precisely means corpse, dead body, and I have to agree on that. Originally, I was really caught up. The name of the product really caught my eyes. I just had to go to the counter and smell it. I'm like, how in the world can a perfume be named like that? I had to know what it smells like. And when I smelled it, I do smell this corpsey, dead body kind of feeling, but not in a very disgusting and like criminal scene kind of way. But instead, it smells like a dead body of a withering plant instead of a human. So it just has that, somehow has that sad beauty in it. I don't know if that's too abstract, but that's the kind of word I can think of every time I smell it. And it does have this gingerly spice in it. And they keep saying that it's good for warmer climate. It's good for warmer weather. But as summer is approaching, as the weather gets hotter and more humid, I just feel this one is more and more suitable for the weather for some reason. I just find myself gravitating towards this one more and more. I think in the winter, because of the dry and cold weather, it does give you that unsettling feeling. But now, I don't know, maybe the sun is shining a bit more and your mood is just more overall more uplifted. So the smell, the perfume, all together with the name doesn't feel as intimidating and as before. I don't know if that makes sense. I'm just like rambling here, but this one is a very unique piece in my collection. I'm not gonna wear it every day, I admit. It's probably gonna be sitting there for years and years, but I will always have this one because it's just a living embodiment of the perfumer's value and what he believes in. I really suggest you go and check on their official website and see the descriptions and company value and all that. I feel their value goes very well with that of mine. So this is always sorry, my alarm. This is always going to be a kind of staple piece in my collection, although I don't tend to use it that much. Okay, I only have a couple left. And then let's go quickly into the Byredos. I know these guys are really popular in the US and the European countries. And sadly, again, we don't have that counter in China. So I had to get these in the States in my trips. But the ones I got are Mojave Ghost and Gypsy Water. Gypsy Water, I'm sure a lot of guys have talked about it, and I love it. It's just all year round appropriate. And again, the bottle, the magnetic cap is really gorgeous. The bottle is perfection to me. They're so simplistic and they're so pure, and the rounded shape is unique too. Although it's a little hard to carry in your purse because it does take up a lot of space. But I mean, every time I just play around with the bottle, I just feel happy. And they're really made of very fine quality, thick glass. So it doesn't create that crappy sound when they clash together. I'm just a weirdo. Like, I am really keen to everything sound related. So like the bottle, how they sound like in terms of their glass and everything, it matters to me too. So Gypsy Water, a very warm, citrusy, piney, again simplistic smell, and it's very, when you spray this on, just creates that friendly, amiable vibe to a person. So, and I just feel it's a very good everyday wear, especially to work. It just instantly uplifts your mood. This guy, Mojave Ghost, some people pronounce this as Mojave Ghost. Mojave Ghost, it's overall more mysterious and a more deserted. I wore this one to my trip to the Slab City last month. It's a it's a city for homeless people in the US, and then the poorest people, more the most the saddest people, for some reason they just gather and live in trailers in that kind of like abandoned no man's land. So I went there on adventure, and then before then I already settled that I was going to wear this one Mojave Ghost because it smells to me precisely like an abandoned desert under the hot sun, and then it almost had this again sadness in it, but it smells again very independent. It's as if you're this independent person who stands on this wild no man's land, and but at the same time you're eternally internally and eternally connected to something that's more profound from within, to God or a higher power or the nature, the power of the nature. I don't know. It just has something that's very rich and complex in it. Like when you close your eyes and keep sniffing it, it just takes you to a whole different space. And that's precisely what I love about these, not only these two, but these like higher end perfumes, because they're not that linear and they really take you away from where you are. Because our lives are not always pleasantly happy for us. So sometimes, sniff on the wrist just is a very quick and easy way to kind of have this temporarily escape and get away. And then when you get back on, you feel much better in reality. Strange Invisible Scents. I love this perfume. It's one of my favorites, and I don't even dare to wear this because they only have one store in the whole world, and it's in the Venice Beach area in California, in LA. And I'm just so scared that I'm gonna wear this one up and I'm not gonna have the chance to get it timely when I need it again. So it's kind of a special piece in my collection too. But overall, this bottle again is wonderful. It's made out of very high quality glass, and the liquid again feels like fine whiskey, and the cap feels great too, the spray as well. Overall, to me, this one smells like a combination of various kinds of white flowers. It definitely has this jasmine and gardenia smell in it. Very wild, elegant, but proud at the same time. It definitely is that more distant smell. So this woman who wears this perfume, just don't mess with her. But she's not in the like attention grabbing, overly narcissistic way of putting herself, but rather she's quiet. She just has this quiet power and charm that allures you to get closer and closer to her. But when you get closer and closer, you feel that to some point you just can't get closer anymore. I just love that feeling the smell creates when you wear it. And again, this perfume I've talked to this very tiny boutique store. They're already the salesperson in the boutique store. They have been around for over 17 years in LA, and so far they're not thinking about expanding their business in any way, which I really appreciate. This kind of self-owned family business. I feel they have their dignity. They're not making the products just for money, but they're really doing something they like, and they want to make sure that they secure the quality of service as well as the quality of the products. I'm sure I will keep buying their perfume. They do have a complete different line called the Zodiac Sign, so they're kind of blending different scents based on different personalities and vibes that are let out by people from different zodiac signs. But I feel that's a really smart gifting idea. I don't see a lot of other brands do that, but this one is from their regular line. So if you live in a greater LA area, I suggest you go to the Venice beach area and check this one out. It's called The Strange Invisible Scents. Last but not least, Tom Ford Femme. I actually wore this one already a couple weeks in a row when I go out for like nightclubs and just listen to some jazz in the evening to kind of chill and relax. This one really goes well with alcohol and with a smoky eye, just anything out there. It's sex in a bottle precisely. But compared to all the other guys that I just mentioned, this one's definitely more smells more mainstream to me, if you know what I mean here. But it's not completely mainstream at the same time. It's just more mainstream to me. But I feel this one is more it's just overall like sexually suggestive. If a man smells this, he's just gonna wanna do something with you, I feel. So that's basically all of the fragrances that I've acquired over the past couple months. There are a lot, and I'm trying to slow down here, but let me know if you guys like these kind of videos. I will link down below all the information that I just mentioned, you know, including the brand and product, which scent is that. But thumbs up and like it, and comment if you like it, and let me know the areas of improvement I need to make, because this is all for you guys. This is all about sharing, and then, you know, sharing this mutual interest. So if there's no mutualness in it, I'm not going to share it anymore in the future. Yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video, I guess, and happy weekend. Bye.